Today we're going to be making a lot of fun recipes on this mini griddle, so please join me. Welcome to the Bold Encourager. I'm Rebecca. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It just allows for me to get my positive, encouraging messages out to everyone. So today we are making some fun recipes on this mini griddle. It's a Dash mini griddle that you can get on Amazon or at Target or Walmart. It's about $12. Doesn't cost very much, so it's perfect when you want to simplify and just have a small little tiny little thing to cook on. You don't have to be a great cook to cook on it. You could be a college student, you could be someone that just wants to make smaller meals and you don't want a big appliance to cook on. This is perfect for you. If you're trying to do portion control, this is perfect for you as well. So it's got a lot of great things to it. You could also take it camping if you want to do some glamping or whatever. And so it's a perfect thing to get. I mean, it's 12 bucks and you can cook a lot of things on it. So let's get started and see what you can make on this tiny little griddle. Okay, first up, what we are making for breakfast is going to be a breakfast sandwich, but it's not just an ordinary breakfast sandwich. It's like the McGriddle that you can get at McDonald's.
First, you want to butter each side of the mini griddle, and this is so that the cinnamon rolls don't stick on the griddle. You're going to be using Pillsbury cinnamon rolls, and I just took one out of the can so that I can kind of spread it out. It's going to kind of spread out a little bit on its own just because the griddle kind of lets it become more of a pancake. And as you can see, there it is. It's a beautiful cinnamon roll pancake. So you could even make cinnamon roll pancakes out of this. And then I take the second one and I put it in the griddle, and I'd say about 1 to 2 minutes on each side of the pancake, just so that it cooks to that golden brown color. So you can kind of check on it just to see where it's at. But once it gets to that golden brown color that you like, go ahead and take it out. You see that side isn't quite cooked all the way. So I just went ahead and flipped it again. But yeah, it took about 1 to 2 minutes on each side, and it was the perfect amount of time. Now we're gonna go ahead and add the fully cooked, thick cut bacon. I prefer to make it with the fully cooked bacon so it doesn't take as long when I'm putting it in the griddle. And then once it's cooked to the desired crispiness, I take it out of the griddle, put it on the pancakes, and they look amazing already. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cook the egg on the griddle. I'd say that it was about a couple minutes on the bacon, and then I cooked the egg for about a couple of minutes too. The egg didn't turn out as great as it usually does because I messed it up, but it doesn't matter because it's going in the griddle. And then you add some cheese to the top, whatever your favorite cheese is, and now it's ready to be put on the McGriddle, or the McGriddle Wannabe, because it's not a real McGriddle. It's my rendition of the McGriddle. Once you're done, you're going to want to unplug the mini griddle and let it cool down. And here you go. Here is my wannabe McGriddle. It was absolutely delicious. And I'm going to add some syrup to the top of it. So I added some syrup, but it's completely up to you if you want to add syrup. I just love salty and sweet together, so that is why I added the syrup, and I loved it.
See, wasn't that super simple to make? And I'm telling you right now, it tasted just like a McGriddle, but hey, it was super easy to make. So let's go ahead and find out how to make 5-minute pizzas.
So you're going to want to spray the mini griddle so that it doesn't stick, or you can use the butter like I did for the previous recipe, whatever you prefer. And I'm using this Pillsbury pizza crust for the crust. Believe it or not, Pillsbury does really well on these mini griddles. So then I took a circle kind of bowl that was about the size of the mini griddle, and that way I could just cut it out. You could just use a knife if it's not cutting out very well. And then once it's all together, you're gonna put it on the mini griddle, and you're gonna cook each side for about 2 minutes so that you can get that golden brown color on each side. I like to flip it just to make sure it gets a good color. Sometimes it doesn't get it as well if you just leave it as is. I mean, it might take a little bit longer to cook, but it probably would. It's just my preference. And then you're gonna take pizza sauce, which I use Prego pizza sauce, and just use a butter knife and put it on there. And then you're ready for some mozzarella cheese, of course. What makes pizza the best is mozzarella cheese. So go ahead and put your mozzarella cheese on there. And I use pepperoni for the toppings, but you can use whatever toppings you want. I think pepperoni just cooks probably a little easier, so that's why I did it. And voila, a minute later, it's nice and perfect. The color is perfect. The pizza is ready to go and be eaten. And trust me, it was quite yummy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take it off of there and plate it. And here you go. Here's your 5-minute pizza.
Hey, the 5-minute pizzas were simple. They tasted just like a pizza that you would get at the frozen section, but better because it wasn't frozen. And it was so much more fresh. So you could add whatever toppings you wanted, but obviously pepperoni is super easy, so that's why I did pepperoni. Okay, next up is my last recipe. It is a dessert recipe. So this one I kind of put together and just thought of, because they said you could make cookies on this little thing. I was like thinking, oh, awesome, if you wanted to chop just one chocolate chip cookie, you didn't want to make a bunch of cookies, this is perfect for you, because you're like, you know, I feel like eating a cookie, but I don't want to go overboard and eat a bunch of sweets. This is perfect for you to make it on there. So instead of just doing the typical chocolate chip cookie, I went ahead and made a deconstructed sugar cookie s'more. And it was amazing, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. So let's get started on that.
So of course, the first step is always to spray your mini griddle or butter it. And I use Pillsbury again. I'm using the Pillsbury sugar cookie dough, and I'm pressing it down so it spreads out a little bit more, and trust me, it will spread out. So you're kind of gonna see that it's a little mushy and it breaks apart when you take it and try to flip it, but no worries, it's deconstructed sugar cookie for that reason. And so I just kind of moved it around because I want it to cook evenly. And once you take it off of the griddle, it does harden up pretty well. But while you're flipping it, it's gonna definitely be deconstructed, but don't worry, because it will harden up. And also when we add the other ingredients, the marshmallow and the chocolate, it's gonna stick well together. So I took off the first cookie because we're gonna make 2 of them. So you're gonna double this step. You're gonna do it twice, but here's the first cookie, and now I'm putting the second cookie. I cooked the cookie, the first side, for about 5 minutes, and then the second side, when I did each cookie, it was about 1 to 2 minutes depending on how hot the griddle was. But the first one I think was about 6-7 minutes, and then the second one was about 6 minutes, the cookie. Yes, the dessert takes a little bit longer, but it's a very divine dessert, so it's totally worth it. Think about it, when you make dessert in your oven, you're probably cooking it for about 30 minutes, so it's totally worth it, because it was half the time of that. And then I took the Peeps and I just went ahead, and this was a chocolate Peeps, but I just cut it in half because I didn't want the marshmallow to be that thick. And I think you could just do it. Your one little marshmallow would be fun and enough. And then I went ahead and got a chocolate Hershey Kiss. This is actually one of those lava ones that had the lava inside, but you could use any kind of chocolate that you like in it. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the other cookie to the very top of it so that it comes well together. I put a little bit of salt on the top of it because I like, sweet and salty together, and it gives it a better flavor when you do that. But I just did a dash of salt. Now after it's been sitting in there for about a couple more minutes, so you could take it out, the cookie, and put it in a little bit of a dish that you want to serve it in. It's very ooey and gooey and ready to go. I will tell you, this is one of the most delicious desserts I've ever tried, so it's not that bad. I'd say it's like, you know, you're spending about 14 minutes making this dessert, 14 to 15 minutes making this dessert, but it's totally worth it. You're gonna love it. And then I decided to cut in the middle of it so you could see how ooey and gooey it looks in the center, just so your mouth can water a little bit. I put a little bit of salt on it so it's not too sweet, but you know, if you want to add a little bit of ice cream, if you like a lot of sugar, then go ahead, be my guest. But look at this. It is amazing. And let's just get a close up because you got to see how good it looks. It's a deconstructed sugar cookie s'more.
Isn't it amazing? Simple stuff. I used Peeps, but you could use regular marshmallow. I just have all this leftover Peeps from my Peeps food review I did last week. So I was like, why not use that in this recipe? Well, that's all my recipes. And please comment down below if this is something you like, because I have some ideas. I want to make Korean food on it and also healthy food recipes. So those are two different types of recipes that I want to do on this mini griddle. So let me know if this is something you're interested in so I can come up with more ideas for that. Also, if there's any ideas you have that you think I should try out on the mini griddle, please let me know, comment down below. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Also, if you haven't followed me on social media, please follow me on social media. The links are down below. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will post a new fun video, and you don't want to miss it, so go ahead and hit that notification bell. Well, I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you stay encouraged.